This is the Madela mindset.
Every week, we talk about life, friendship, and work.
And everything we're still trying to figure out. Let's get into it.
I don't know if people have noticed or not. AI can
Hmm.
be used in wonderful ways and can solve some major problems in life that actually benefit humanity. Like use the tool for the purpose of benefiting. Okay, but enterprises stopped. They don't even do that. I mean, X-rays itself have gone such long way in my one lifetime because of automation and AI.
Yeah.
Like cancer research, if you start talking about it, my is supposed to be PhD at some point in life. I hope there is cancer to help with by the time I do a doctorate. But just
I
it.
don't know, man. I think they would have solved all the problems by the time we get into biochemistry
Oh my god!
and genetic problems, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
But
but also
I
I want
I
to do
didn't
it.
get to do anything. Yes, I know what you
I want to help. Why are you not letting me help? This is not
mean.
fair. But cancer prediction itself got so much better over time. The advancement, where right now, for 1 year prior to having cancer, you can identify where it is starting for certain cancers at least. It is not that a person can't do it, but it takes 10 years for a human being to go through all of the data sets to identify that. So,
Yes.
what is the flaw in using an AI there when it is able to help you?
Because it's just looking through data sets. If you have the approach
Mm,
and you just need a lot of manpower,
mm.
AI can give you that manpower without the actual people to look into it. What skill does a person looking through a data set have?
If a person has to look through multiple images of cancer across the last 300 years, you'll need to have biostatistics expertise, you need to have medical expertise. You can't find that many people in this niche of a field.
Mm,
Maybe one university has 20 people who have expertise in this field.
right.
You really think 20 people can sit together in one night and figure out if you might get cancer in a year? It is not about the replacement of manpower also. It's just that that field itself is very difficult to get into. So
Mm,
having an assistant shouldn't be a problem. We're not replacing the person itself.
mm.
We're giving them one extra hand to work with.
Yeah. I guess the fear also comes from the fact that they are very monetized and controlled and no loss around it.
Maybe that's a good thing, the demonetization of knowledge itself.
No, demonetization is good. There's no governance.
Yeah, that is like a later stage of the problem, I feel. Like, for example, right now, I love that. Do you remember the conversation of white revolution in India? Where milk became the main source and that gave
Mm.
like almost a lot of villages feeding.
Employment, yes.
Yeah, many countries are not aware of that process.
Mm.
Right now they know how to implement if you want to implement it, and they can Google it or ChatGPT it or whatever. They can go in, they can ask, they can understand how they can implement it for their situation and implement it and actually benefit from it.
Right.
Not only that, in a lot of agricultural fields also, the fact that it is not monetized has given more options and opened up more communication channels. Like
Mm.
restrictions that I had in my country, that my country wouldn't permit certain conversations, are not there on the bot itself. The bot itself will tell me what is happening across the world. Even if it is different opinions, it will tell me all the different opinions. Like this
Yes.
website is saying this website is saying this. So it is entirely up to you to decide what you want to see.
Right. But I don't think a lot of people have the level of knowledge to distinguish between hallucinations and the actual facts that AI throws out at you. So let's say I was
Mm,
Googling about gardening or
mm,
I was asking ChatGPT about gardening. I don't know anything about gardening. And
mm,
so if it says something very random like you have to plant your seed at 5 a.m. in the morning, I'll probably do it
mm,
because I
mm,
don't know that it's not required. I don't have the knowledge to
mm.
tell that that was just a random thing that ChatGPT made up and not something that someone said or something that works, right? There is a gap.
The
I
domain
don't.
knowledge part of it, right?
Right. So how do
Mm.
we bridge that? Because people are taking ChatGPT's words at face value. They're like, yeah,
Mm.
it knows everything. It has trained on everything ever said on the internet. So it must know everything, is what they think, right?
I think the first myth that we should be breaking here is the fact that ChatGPT is not trained on anything. It's just trained on words. It pulls in websites and informations and gives you that information in something that you can understand. It is not trained on anything. Very personal LLMs or very personal models that you host for your own personal requirements are trained on certain data sets. OpenAI itself is not. So, for example, if I want to train a GPT model, a GPT-3 model, it takes 550 tons of carbon monoxide to train it, and that is equivalent to 125 flights. So, no, we do not train models. As much as we can, we don't train models.
Hmm.
People who train models also train it on very small models for very small requirements only. And so we don't do that. That is a full stop. So everything that you see from a chatbot is it just pulling from websites and giving you a summary. I think that is one main myth that we'll have to break here, saying what you're seeing is a summarized version of Google screens.
So it's just its job is to just pull words and put words together.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is summarizing things for you. And it
Hmm.
is doing that excellently.
Hmm.
It's not doing that in a single shot. Like if I go to Google right now, Google has this wonderful feature that it has added called Gemini in its search bot itself.
Yeah.
So after you ask a question across all the chat window, it'll give you a perfect conclusive saying, from this link I've understood this link you've understood this. What ChatGPT is doing is it's going one step advanced, or Gemini itself is doing it, it's going one step advanced. It says, okay, this I see. Do you also need me to give you
Hmm.
like a document on it, or do you
Hmm.
need me to give you a structured plan on it based on all of this information, or do you
Hmm.
have any specific information you need to look for? So by far it is not giving you any solution from its mind, because its mind is the web search itself, so it is not picking from thin air.
But again, the problem is that the websites it is pulling from can be filled of random made up things.
That
And
is
again,
every time, right?
that is an
Yeah,
age old problem. Yeah, that is a
yeah.
problem since search engines have existed.
Correct.
And
Reddit itself will have so many multitudes of opinions about the same thing. Someone must have said somewhere about something very creepy. And if
yeah.
you asked, it will pick it up from there. And what I have seen also since AI has become a thing, since ChatGPT has become a thing, is they have put their own set of guardrails. So
Mm.
let's say, or Google also, let's say somebody is searching for self harm or things like that. There is a full fledged disclaimer right now that's coming up saying, if you need help, contact.
Call this crisis number. Yes,
Yes.
yes. I really
And we
appreciate
don't,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad that they're doing it. Okay. They're very aware of the problems that are coming and they're hearing you. That is right.
Mm.
But as a human being who is talking to the bot, we should also be aware that it is a bot. You
Yeah.
ask for a problem solution, it'll give you a problem solution. It's not the bot's fault.
It's not, but we need to create awareness that it is a bot and not an all-knowing being.
Mm.
The throne that we have put the AI bots on, we need to kind of dethrone them in that aspect.
On that note, I would love to ensure everybody realizes, if you, as an example, if you ask it complex coding problems or complex differential equations, after the second question or third question, every AI gives you Chinese, like the Chinese
Oh.
text. Yeah. Okay. Because after a point, the bot itself starts analyzing the integral symbols or complex coding problems as a different language. And it
Why?
responds in a different language because the system is not that advanced. The system itself on the back has very limited amount of information. Humans don't have limited amount of information. If I ask it Sanskrit, it will not be able to answer to me in 100% Sanskrit. If I go into it and say, is this there in a Veda anywhere? It will not
Mm.
be able to tell me at 100% accuracy because that information is not there in any website.
Right.
Age old information that was not recorded. And that is okay. That is not a flaw. But you need to understand that that is a limitation. It is not an all knowing being. It is not magic. That problem will exist. And that is an actual problem in the AI world where there are research papers trying to understand how to fix that. And anybody
Ah.
will grab at anything to solve that problem. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is wonderful, no? That literally proves the fact that that is a tool that we are curating carefully and we have
Mm.
100% control on. It's just that that group of we are very limited.
Very, very limited
And
indeed.
that is the scary part, you know?
Again, I think the awareness around AI is very lacking.
Mm,
It is the media around AI is extremely negative and unhelpful,
mm.
if anything.
I love it when certain news channels randomly start yelling, AI is taking over the world. AI in this field has killed AI. Oh my God, AI. I'm like, why are you yelling it? It's just a tool. Did this happen when Microsoft Office came into a picture? Why is everybody yelling about this?
Yeah, I mean, even as a person working in tech, it took me a while to get to that point.
Mm,
Initially, it was scary that while it takes me 2 days to go through a big database that runs a feature, it takes the AI 2 minutes to go through the whole code base,
mm-hmm.
and it can tell me, oh, what part of the code does this thing or which part of the code does this thing. It can tell me very quickly. So that has, of course, saved me a lot of time. And initially it was scary, but now, after working with it for a while, I have noticed that it does not give right answers all the time. Sometimes it throws shit at me and I have to roll with it. Which is why, again, you cannot completely replace your brain with AI. If anyone is wondering, that is not possible. You still have to go and do some groundwork. Your knowledge, your brain, your input is still very important and it will always be.
Yes. Yes. I think when we were doing masters there we had an entire course on data security.
Mm.
Okay. And when I was doing masters, I think the in the last semester ChatGPT became a thing.
Yes.
So when I was doing masters, AI as is was just a library, a Python library that we
Mm.
could train. So it
Mm.
was so we know the math behind it, you say, you know. We know the math behind it. And because we had this data governance course, the first thing that they told us was your results from your code is only as good as the data that you provide. So if your
Yes.
data is extremely biased, like for example, if I take a plant data and the plant data itself has dominantly lilies
Mm.
and very little roses, your system by default will predict a lily.
Mm.
And that is because the data itself is one side biased. There is no balance in the data. And that is normal.
Mm.
So, for you to get good results, your data should be clean and understandable for the system.
Yeah.
Th- That just translates into real world scenarios also.
Mm.
When AI is put in a decision making process, if ever a stupid enough person decides that AI should be put in a decision making process, it should be in a way where data that is fed to it should also be balanced, which
Yeah.
is not possible in real world. Okay, that is the point. It is never possible in real world. There will always be areas with majorities and minorities in opinions or in castes or in creeds, anything. So the data will always be unbalanced.
Mm.
The AI system that you're putting in decision making will always be unbalanced then.
You need to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah. The morality ground, AI wouldn't understand. Why will it care about the morality part of it? It
It's
doesn't know what
almost
you're using this
scary.
decision for. Your loss, your life, death, and loss. Why will a machine even understand that? I am not naive enough to say AI won't replace you.
Mm.
That is not my naivety. My problem with this is it is like every other job that will replace you at the end of the day. I don't want you to make this the evil lord of things. It
Mm.
is here. It is not that it will come in the future. Like in 2024, when the Nobel winner said that AI is a very present problem and our laws are not catching up with it at the same speed, I agree to that at 100% rate because somebody in the conference also asked if AI gives something out, it is still, according to the Constitution of America, by the First Amendment, that is freedom of speech. Even if it is right, wrong, whatever, AI saying something is still freedom of speech. So our laws have not caught up to it. Yes, there are few states, few countries that are trying to enhance the laws of it. But the scary part is there is no governance, right? It's not the bot itself. It's the way you use the bot that needs to be supervised consistently. Because the recent Anthropic war with Pentagon, that establishes the fact that there are people who are taking these decisions of these bots who are very much aware of the power of the bot. And I think that is very important for people of these enterprises to take that stand to, no, we will not let it be used for harm at all.
Yeah, but they are enterprises at the end of the day. And there are a few which will go for the money and not for the people.
Yeah,
Then
we
what?
know the bald guy. We know what he can do. We know the manpower he holds and the power of that manpower also. It's that is the point, no? The fact that
It's the
it's
humans.
not, yeah, it's the humans that we're scared of and not the bot.
Mm.
And it's always been the humans that we're scared of. And how do we trust a human in such powerful positions to take decisions that are amicable to us?
Yeah. How do we trust them that they have our good interests in mind? Because they don't. They probably only have their own good interests while taking a decision.
The question that I will always ask at this point is according to whom is the interest good?
But that's a very subjective thing. Again, it is very philosophical. Good for someone can be bad for someone else.
Yes. Like Doflamingo, my man, has said, justice will prevail, but who decides what is justice?
The ones in power.
Yeah. Who win the war will decide what is justice. And that is why I think AI governance laws are very, very, very important. Data bias laws are extremely important because this is not like every other tool that can just be used and forgotten. It is everywhere, everywhere. I mean, they released redacted files, and under a day, they took those redacted files, put it through AI, and made it unredacted. People could just remove that black part and tell you exactly what is there in that redacted file.
Yes. And
So,
if there are like a million files released in a day, you could go through them in a day
yeah.
using AI. But if you were to do it using manpower, it would take a lot of manpower and a lot of time in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, the AI needs to be refined so that it is more, I guess, to the point
Mm.
and not going on its own hallucinating way. That is something that's a work in progress and people are working on it.
I would love to see a world where everybody knows what the tool does.
Yeah, honestly, for now, I think I'd love to see a world where they would treat it as a tool.
Mm. Just complete awareness of what the tool can do. And all
Mm.
of us can build our own chatbot. Just,
Yeah.
I would love to see that world where the power doesn't get
society based.
monetized. Yeah.
Mm.
And it is not centered at three or four people. And everybody realizes that they can host their own tool in their locals. And yeah, now tell me. Now play catch up.
Yeah. And I don't know, but I guess the conversation that everyone is not ready to have is the conversation around AI and art,
Mm,
because AI can generate art and it can make art look like real art that was done by real artists, and which is why a lot of people are choosing to just ask AI to do the art instead of asking, humans to do the
mm,
art.
mm.
That's just so sad.
Mm.
I don't know. That is, I guess, a place where I think AI should not be in.
I think that is the difference between the fake and the real versions of it. Like, if
Mm,
there was no Van Gogh paintings, I don't think
mm,
AI would be able to sketch a starry night right now.
of course, it would.
Yeah. And that originality will come from an original artist only.
Personality, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That broken of a man can only draw something that beautiful. Not every one of us can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, even if, like, let's say I'm watching a tutorial and doing a painting, it will come out with a flair of me. It will include my personality in it.
Mm.
Although I'm doing everything exactly like the person is saying it, it will still be a little bit different because it is
Yeah.
done by me. And I think that by me part is missing in the art that's generated by AI. It's just flat.
But now, at least, it's very evident when it is generated by an AI.
No, I,
It
I think I don't want to live in a world where
it is
all the
not.
human artists are unemployed because AI can generate that good art.
Human artists have always been unemployed.
Oh, well. It's so dark. Oh my God. I'm so sad for
They are
them.
always underpaid. There is maybe one or two artists out there who get exceptionally paid, and that is also after many years of art. Even Van Gogh got his fame after he died, not when he was alive.
You know,
So that is just art in general. That is why
that's
we are all pressured to take the science fields than the art fields in most cases.
in India, you mean.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
also the fact that I don't think people are yet ready to talk about the infrastructure cost that AI will take from us.
Mm,
The water,
right.
space, energy that
Yes.
will take from us. They're not ready for that conversation. And I am very glad that Apple has taken that conversation way ahead and has tried to put it into your singular phone and not as a data center.
Mm.
And I am very proud of the way that they are thinking. We're still thinking that maybe the next release of the phone with the new iOS is the new thing that Apple is doing. And that guy very silently gave you on device LLMs, on device models, on device GPUs. You don't have to take it externally and everything. King. But that is a conversation that has to be spoken about because there are only two companies right now.
Yeah.
And that monetization is extreme. I love the two people that are in power right now. I am not denying it. But there are only two people, and when there are more people in that field, there will be lesser land and lesser water for
Mm.
already a scarce world.
Yeah. We will, we don't want to destroy the world to make a funny video of a cat dancing on
Mm,
its two legs, right?
it's very important, that control. And until unless it knocks on your door, you wouldn't realize how adverse the situation is. People will
Mm.
still only look at it as, I'm just asking one simple question. No. But there are states in the United States that have gone out of water already.
Yeah.
So,
Places are drying out, the electricity prices are spiking because the AI centers are using an immense amount of electricity. And that is all very real and very present
Happening.
problem,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are not aware of it. And honestly, I think that is one of the reasons why I don't like Google summarizing every single query.
Mm.
Um, when I ask, like, what is the weather today, I don't want you to give me an AI summary of the weather. You can just tell me the weather. And I wish it was an option to turn it off.
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
if I want an AI summary, I would go to an AI bot.
Or hold people responsible for their questions.
Mm.
Okay. Like every question that is asked gets like a tag of this is how much water you're costing, and this amount of water is going to kill these many people. Do you
Do
still
you,
want to ask this question?
do you think they care, first of all? I don't think so. I think books come with, when you're buying books or something, people can write things like, this book cost you two trees or something. Do you think people won't buy books? I think they would
There was
still
this
buy
web
things.
page, I think, when I was in my 11th grade, 12th grade. I don't remember exactly. And that web page basically showed you exactly how many trees get planted with each of your question and how much oxygen is taking in for this question below that. That
Mm.
was very interesting for me. And if they could have gotten funding for that website, it would have been a very good initiative as an NGO.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But that these kind of questions about the world's humanity or hunger or environment, this generation and next generation are only asking. The
Mm.
previous generation is oblivious to these questions.
Do you think it's because they're going to die and they don't care what happens after
No,
that?
they have established empires and all they care about is the empire right now.
Mm. I guess, yeah, they have monetized and built wealth already. So
Even
they
that
don't
said,
really.
global warming is not real and it's a myth.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but we are the ones taking the grunt of all the AC that they ran. you know. All the unhinged ACs and random plastic that they have used, we are taking the grunt of it.
Yes. And
Mm.
also, again, when technologies were not, when we were not aware that opening your fridge would cause a hole in the ozone,
Yeah.
back when chlorofluorocarbons were still legal. So there's a long way to go, because if we can ban chlorofluorocarbons, the CFCs, we, I think, can ban a lot of things.
Yeah. We should be able to be in a position where we realize that it's an either or situation. We either lose humanity or we build more data centers. It is not a hand in hand situation. And I
No.
think that is a bubble that people have to come out of.
And I don't think it is in the it is not in the control of the larger public, but at the same time, with the state of the current world, I cannot say that the general public can make a big difference as well, because we are scared and we are not given our voices anymore. The one thing that makes a difference is our voice. So I don't know if I have that voice anymore.
Mm.
I would like to live in a world where I can say what I think and not be scared of the
Yeah, we don't even
consequences.
put names on our podcasts anymore because of that.
Yeah,
I don't think we figured this out yet,
not even a little bit.
but we tried, and hopefully, we ain't alone.
This is the Matilda mindset.
A space where we let ourselves be a little delusional.
If you've been thinking about this too, we'd love to hear it.
Well, we'll see you next time.